Today, I will introduce a unique Japanese way of communication called reading the air. If you know this, you will get to know Japanese people better. Japanese people are conscious of reading the atmosphere when having a conversation. In Japanese, a person who cannot read the atmosphere is sometimes called kukiyomenai or KY. Reading the atmosphere means sensing the other person's feelings and the atmosphere of the situation, and taking actions that suit the situation. Reading the atmosphere and taking action is especially important in the Japanese business scene. Japanese people are careful not to disrupt the atmosphere or draw attention to others by saying negative things. Because of this, if you are not familiar with Japanese expressions, it is difficult to judge whether it is yes or no. So what do Japanese people consider to be people who can read the atmosphere? Next, we will introduce 5 things that people who can read the atmosphere don't do, and some advice for people who want to be able to do the same. What is a person who can read the atmosphere? A person who can read the atmosphere is someone who can read the intentions of others from their words and facial expressions and act in accordance with their expectations. The main characteristics of a person who can read the atmosphere are as follows: can understand the other person's emotions from their facial expressions, words, gestures, etc. Can make appropriate statements at the right time. Can act flexibly according to the situation. Can keep pace with the people around them, even in a group. Has good observation skills and can notice what people want. Good at reading between the lines. A person who can read the atmosphere is someone who can respond flexibly according to the situation. In addition, because they are good at guessing what the other person wants, they are also considerate of others. 5 things that people who can read the air don't do. 1. Reading the air too much. People who can read the air don't read the air too much. This is because reading the air too much can make people around you think you're a people pleaser or someone who just goes along with the flow and has no initiative. As a result of reading the air too much, you may end up spinning your wheels and making others distrust you. Also, reading the air too much can make you feel exhausted or like you're just being convenient. 2. Not empathizing with others. People who can't read the atmosphere tend to think about things from their own perspective and have difficulty empathizing with what others are saying. They also have difficulty understanding and empathizing with the emotions of others, which can lead to them making inappropriate remarks. They are preoccupied with the idea that, if it were me, I would do it this way, and are unable to make sympathetic remarks, which can lead to others thinking that they can't read the atmosphere. 3. Not listening to the end. People who can't read the atmosphere often have trouble listening to the end of a conversation. While the other person is talking, they're absent-mindedly thinking about what they're going to say, so they cut others off at the wrong time or fail to respond appropriately. 4. Talking too much about things that weren't asked. People who can't read the mood of a situation are also bad at grasping the flow of a conversation, so they tend to just talk about themselves and talk non-stop. People around them may think, that's not what we're talking about right now. 5. Making inappropriate remarks. People who can't read the atmosphere often make inappropriate remarks, such as saying something that ruins the conversation when it's going well, or accidentally letting something slip. Even if you try to be careful, some people may have found that the atmosphere has become tense before they know it. For those who want to be able to read the atmosphere, some people may be worried about freezing the atmosphere or getting a subtle reaction every time they speak. In order to be able to read the atmosphere, you must be aware of a few things when communicating. Focus on what the other person is saying. Refrain from speaking until the other person has finished speaking. Observe facial expressions, gaze, and gestures. Imagine what the other person in front of you is thinking. Imagine the other person's emotions, such as whether they are angry or sad. Value the distance between you and others. Think about what you think before saying it right away. It may be a good idea to start by concentrating on what the other person is saying and carefully observing their facial expressions. It may be difficult to do right away, but by being conscious of it, you will be able to read the atmosphere little by little.